Hello and welcome to the second part of a vapor compression cycle. In the previous part, we have studied basic introduction about vapor compression cycle. In this session of VCRS major components, we will study in detail the different components of a vapor compression cycle. This video is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share Alike 4.0 International License. This session is conducted by Ms. Anupriti Sakre and Ms. Shruti Vedpathar. As per the components shown in the figure, the major components of vapor compression cycle are compressor, condenser, expansion device, and evaporator. The function of each component we have already learned in the part 1 of the vapor compression cycle. So in this session we will learn detailed study of each component. We will start with the evaporator. The evaporator is a heat exchanger that transfers heat from air, water, or some other fluid or the objects to the liquid refrigerant and converts it into a vapor refrigerant. So evaporator is basically a heat exchanger. It can be tube-in-tube type or tube-in-shell type as per the required applications. The liquid refrigerant, which is coming from the throttling device, is in low pressure and low temperature state. This liquid refrigerant is passed to the evaporator. The evaporator absorbs the latent heat from the surroundings, and this liquid refrigerant is converted into a vapor refrigerant. So basically, in the evaporator section, we get our cooling effect. The next component is compressor. The compressor is a device which increases the pressure of the refrigerant. The main function of the compressor is to increase the pressure of the refrigerant as well as to increase the temperature of the refrigerant. So when that high pressure refrigerant is throttled in the throttling device, the temperature as well as pressure of the refrigerant will decrease below 0 degrees Celsius, and then we will get our desired cooling effect. So the main function of the compressor is to increase the pressure of the refrigerant so that it will be throttled to a lower pressure and we will get a low temperature refrigerant. So after compressor, we will study the expansion device. An expansion device is another basic component of refrigeration system. The basic function of an expansion device used in refrigeration systems are: the first function is to reduce pressure from the condenser pressure to evaporator pressure, and the second function is to regulate the refrigerant flow from high pressure liquid line into the evaporator at a rate equal to the evaporation rate in the evaporator. Means the expansion device lowers the pressure of the refrigerant, so that lowered pressure refrigerant is throttled to low temperature. The area of throttling device is less, for example capillary tube. Due to this sudden change in area, the liquid refrigerant from condenser is expanded in throttling or expansion device. So this expansion causes the pressure and temperature of the refrigerant to reduce to a desired value. The temperature which we get after the expansion device is much lower than the atmospheric temperature. Basically the temperature of the evaporator is below 0 degrees Celsius, which is around -10 to -20 degrees Celsius as per the applications of the evaporator or the refrigeration system. So the next component which we will study is the condensers. So the refrigerant from the compressor, which is of high temperature and high pressure, is then sent to a condenser. Condensers are heat exchangers which transfers heat between refrigerant of to any cooling media like water or air. The refrigerant rejects the latent heat of vaporization to the surrounding and changes its phase from vapor to liquid. The pressure of the refrigerant remains constant, so this process is a constant pressure heat rejection process. So this was the basic and important working of all the components of the vapor compression cycle. Thank you.